Hi, this is Nikhil Advani, and you're watching me on Cineblues.
In the journey spanning over 23 years, this filmmaker has dabbled in varied genre. So from rom-com to action to family drama to whatnot, while dealing with real-life subjects and events. So right from honing his skills under the aegis of the Mirza brothers, Said Mirza and Aziz Mirza, to a stint in Dharma and Yashraj production, to directing his first Kal Ho Na Ho and then starting his own production house, he has come a long, long way. Yes, you guessed him right. He is none other than director, producer, and screenwriter Nikhil Advani. Welcome to the Cine Blues podium, sir. Very glad to have you today on our show.
Thank you, Avan. Thank you so much. That's very sweet of you.
Thank you, sir. So we are here to discuss his latest Freedom at Midnight, whose season 2 has dropped on Sony Live last week. It gets deeper into the most horrific and horrific chapter of our Indian history, that is the Indo-Pak partition and its aftermath, the sectarian violence, Gandhi's assassination, to bureaucratic nightmare. So here we'll talk a lot about this particular series, which have been getting a lot of praises, and people have been raving about it of late. I personally like the show, and I was really very impressed with it. So just wanted to know from you how has been the feeling of late. Like there was Freedom at Midnight season 1, and now there is season 2, and it has been widely appreciated. So how are you exactly feeling at this point of time?
I feel a sense of vindication and a slight relief. And vindication, I'm not being arrogant about it because when a lot of the Freedom at Midnight season one was also appreciated a hell of a lot. We got a
Yes, right.
lot of reviews, and critical reviews were wonderful and all. But there was a certain level of, is it too slow? थोड़ा, boardroom drama की तरह है.
Mm-hmm.
Is Nehru not as strong as Patel, etc., etc.
Mm-hmm.
From my very woke lefty friends, they were having these kind of, you know,
Right.
uh, objections. And I kept saying, ki, yaar, wait for season two, wait for season two,
Mm-hmm.
wait for season two.
Mm-hmm.
Because my whole this thing was ki we wrote the both the seasons together, yeah, Avan. We wrote both the seasons
Okay.
together. We shot
Okay.
both the seasons together. We knew that we were going to finish the first season on July 3rd, 1947, and
Mm-hmm.
the second season was going to start from July, I think 8th. It starts from 1947 all the way till January 30th, 1948. So
Right.
we knew the scope, and we knew the scope scale, and we also knew the arc of what the story was going to be. That the arc of the story was not going to be able to get completed in season one.
Right. Right.
There were certain questions that were which are going to need to be answered, but which I could
Yes.
only answer in season two. So I'm
Right.
just
Right.
glad that people showed some sense of patience, and when the season two came, it has just taken off, right? Just taken off. The people have been calling up and saying that my grandmother is crying and my mother is crying and I am just crying, and I've gone to Google. Did this really happen? They've been sending me their Google searches. Okay, we checked this, we checked this, we checked this, we checked. So I'm getting Google search after
Okay.
search from people. Like they're sending me screenshots of how while the shows while the episode is unraveling, they are stopping the episode. They are going to Google search. They are all discussing. फैमिली कुछ बोल रहे हैं कि हमें पता नहीं था कि हमको हमें हमें तो हमेशा लगा कि गांधी ने ऐसा ही डिसीजन लिया था, पर उसके
Right.
डिसीजन के पीछे ये सब था. सो
Right.
आई थिंक इट्स वेरी वेरी ग्रेटिफाइंग.
Yes, yes, truly great. It must have been great for you, sir. Season 2 actually resonates with the current skirmish that we are having in the current times, right? So, because as people from who have inclination towards the left wing and people who are aligned to the right wing, they have conflicting ideologies. So, as a filmmaker and as an individual, sir, how did you balance out these contrasting ideologies, considering
So I'll
your
tell you
personal
something. I'll tell you
right.
something, Evan, which I sound a bit too. I might not be the right person to say it, and I just there's an incredible show called Peaky Blinders. I don't know whether you've seen it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've
So there's
seen. Yeah.
there's a character played by Cillian Murphy. His name is Thomas Shelby,
Yeah.
and he meets a friend, or he meets a colleague after like somebody he knew after like 10
Mm.
years, and they say, "Oh, Mister." Mr. Shelby, I thought you were a pacifist. You turned out to be a fascist. You know. And Shelby looks at him and he says, "That's the problem with you people. You all think that politics is a straight line.
Right, right,
But if a right-wing person walks far enough,
right.
he will meet a left-wing person.
Yes, yes, yes.
So it's a circle, right?
Yeah,
At the end of the circle. My job was to basically, my thing is that you're right that it is so polarized, that the polarized times that we live in. When we decided 4 years ago how to make this show, that we have to make this show, we decided that listen, let's not become judges. Let's not ask the people to conform to what I am comfortable with, right? I want to therefore take audiences and viewers into the
yeah.
rooms where Patel, Nehru, Patel, Gandhi, where Nehru, Gandhi, Patel, where
Yes,
Jinnah, Patel, Jinnah, Nehru, where all of them are taking very tough decisions, decisions to
yes,
either bring
yes.
the country together, decisions to either break the country apart,
Yeah,
right? And do they have all the information? Well, when you've seen the show, you realize that they themselves did not have all the information, because the information that was coming in was so fractured. The times were
yeah.
so chaotic. Everything, there was so much confusion that
Right.
they were putting out some fires in the Punjab. Another fire was going up in UP. Another fire was going
Calcutta.
up in Calcutta, something or the other. So they were
Right,
just busy, just trying to make sure that what they had striven for 32 years, ever since Gandhi had come to India, they were going to
right.
finally get. Right? There's a line in season two where when Patel asked Nehru and he says that the date has been announced, but are we ready for it? And he says कि बच्चे
Yeah.
इतने सालों से उनको बाहर, मतलब हम लोग बाहर फेंकने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, अब क्या करें? बोले
Ah,
थोड़े वक्त के लिए ठहर जाओ. We
there you
can't do that. So basically, they were not ready, right? So my idea was put the viewer, consumer into that space, and therefore in
ah,
season two. So I always say, Aman, I always say season one is internal. It was about like a boardroom drama.
yeah.
It was about you're
This
inside
one
the
is
space.
external. Right.
This is external because season two is about, because Gandhi in season one says, at the end of season one says कि जब पेड़ की जड़ें कटती है, उसे होश नहीं होता है कि वो कहाँ गिरने वाला है.
हाँ
हम
गिनने वाला
लोगों की
है.
जड़ें काटने वाले हैं, उनको भी होश नहीं होगा,
Right,
and
right.
he prophesizes that it is going to be chaos. He prophesizes it's going
Yes.
to be madness. That
Ah,
partition is only going to lead to bloodshed. It's not going to
yes.
stop. It's not going to stem the blood flow. It's going to make it worse, right?
Right,
And he
right.
prophesied that. And that's exactly what happened. So season two for me was always external. कि आर्मी में क्या हो रहा है, कि मदन लाल पावा के साथ क्या हो रहा है, जो
Marshall,
रेफ्यूजी है,
will
जो
come to
जो
that.
जो जो
Yeah.
उसके साथ क्या हो रहा है, जो प्रिंसेस है वो लोग क्या करने वाले हैं, जो
Huh.
कश्मीर में है वो लोग क्या करने वाले. सो इट वाज ऑलवेज गोइंग टू बी अबाउट एक्सटर्नल repercussions and reactions, whose effects we are still feeling.
Right.
75 years later, अब भी हमें उसका एहसास हो रहा है,
Yes.
what those decisions were.
Yeah. The personally, the series touched me a lot with the depiction of Madan Pawa,
Yeah, yeah.
tremendously enacted by Anurag
Anurag
Thakur.
Thakur,
I
yeah.
saw that you have also mentioned a special thanks to Anurag Thakur in your
Yeah,
credit titles. Why was
yeah.
that?
Because why? Because because by the time when I cast him as Madan Lal Pawa,
Ah,
he was just the actor that I had played Sharvari Wagh's brother in Veda. He was just that.
yes, yes, yes.
By the time season two came out, Anurag Pawa had become a household name thanks to Black Warrant.
Yeah.
So
Black Warren did amazing as well.
I wanted to give Anurag the darja
Ah,
that it's a small role, it's a cameo, but thank you for allowing me to, thank you for agreeing to play this role.
oh,
हालांकि
and
मैंने
he,
ऑलरेडी शूट कर लिया था, मैंने ऑलरेडी इसको सब शूट कर लिया था, so
okay,
I didn't want Anurag to be and I didn't want
just
Anurag.
another.
I just felt that my title sequence already had all the principal players, right?
Hmm, hmm, hmm.
Anurag घुस गया था उसके उनके बीच में से, right? So I just wanted to
Right.
give him that kind of solitary credit and that kind of solitary heft
Oh,
that I felt that his performance deserved. Yeah.
brilliant, brilliant. He was just brilliant, sir. And like Freedom at Midnight, this particular season, like it boasts of a lot of things. Like you have done amazing sets, humongous sets with so meticulously crafted. Like its art design is just fantabulous, and there is heavy duty prosthetic makeup, as well as there is a lot of good impersonation these artists like actors like Siddhant Gupta or Rajendra Ji or even Chirag has done. respectively. But personally, for a filmmaker like you, what was the most important and most the biggest challenge that you faced while making this season?
You know, I have a great cast and a great crew, right? And the
Huh.
crew,
Okay.
crew had I cannot take the credit for. I would be remiss to say that I did everything. I did not do everything. I mean, whether it's Malay, whether it's Shweta Venkat, whether Revanta and Tarun Kotra, who are my right and left hand, whether it's Hitesh Ji
Right.
Advani, Siddhant Bhosle, who are my associates on the show. I mean, whether it's Aisha who did the costume, she had never done
Mm.
costumes in a period show before. She was shocked
Oh,
that I told her to do the costumes of this. She had only done मतलब जॉन इब्राहिम का कॉस्ट्यूम या शर्वरी वाह का कॉस्ट्यूम ऐसा कुछ किया था उसने. I mean, she done a lot of work, but I'm just being. She had never done a period, so she was shocked that I brought her to do this. Priya
okay.
Suhas and Surabhi Verma. Priya, somebody I've worked with a lot. Surabhi, somebody who's worked with me ever since Batla House, and you know. So
Yeah.
my point is that you have to have a great crew. I can talk about 86 sets. I can talk about the vastness of the shoot. I can talk about
Huh.
the scale. But you can't do it. You can't do it without good people who are basically willing to jump off the cliff with you. What does the
Right.
director do? Yeah, our director basically says, "ये है cliff. मैं अभी कूद रहा हूँ इसके साथ. आप मेरे
Becoming too
साथ कूद
modest.
जाओ. आप कूद जाओ मेरे साथ और मैं आपको गारंटी दे रहा हूँ कि पैराशूट खुलेगा."
No, no, you are being too modest, sir, in that regard. Because I have seen your work right from 2003, so like you are being too
Yeah.
modest about that. No, sir, I saw that you spoke about Dhurandhar, you also spoke about Ikkis.
Hmm.
So, personally, one of your films to me had hit me a
No,
lot
you know,
during two.
I'm glad you're asking me because then I can use this platform to clarify some things. Right. When I was asked this question, I said कि I missed Dhurandhar because I believe that
Yeah, you will
it's
watch it on TV,
coming
you
to
told. Yeah.
is coming to the television, so I guess I will watch it when it comes to the TV. And as far as Ikkis is concerned, I'm glad that it was still is still in the theaters because Sriram Raghavan is one of my favorite directors. That's all I
Oh,
actually said. And then it
no,
was just
I
moving to
understand.
something else. I
No,
really feel that Aditya Dhar, what he has, his voice, his use of his vision, he's a very strong voice. He's a strong director, and it's just that when the film released, I was busy with the post production of Freedom at Midnight, so I couldn't get to watch it in the theaters. That's all I actually said.
no, my question is different, sir. I was personally very much, surprised at point of time, and I still get bothered why your 2013 work, which is a lot of, overlapping with the nature of its subject, that is D-Day, right? It was one of the most underrated spy thriller ever made, and
Yeah, I think it's one of the
people are
first
talking
spy
about it.
thrillers made. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, people are talking about it because maybe of the kind of overlapping it had with the plot.
No, you know that the love that D-Day has is it's I hate the term, but it's a cult film, right? Which is कि
Exactly,
cult
exactly,
film is मतलब अच्छी फिल्म है जिसने बॉक्स ऑफिस पे पैसे नहीं बनाई, right?
exactly. So, did the failure that time had bothered you at that point of time, or it did
Not
not,
at
as in,
all.
it did not work that good. The kind of
No, not at all.
amount of
I cherish the fact that I could work with Irfan Khan and Rishi
yeah,
Kapoor,
Rishi ji.
and the love that that film got, and the I mean we had about 20 industry trials where Amitabh Bachchan telling Ritesh Shah and Suresh Nair ki why don't you write a film like this with me, where Javed Akhtar Singh ki telling the writers that what an incredible this thing, Rishi Kapoor, Irfan, Arjun Rampal, Shruti Hassan. Shruti Hassan had a kind of 6 minute role in the film. You know, the
Exactly.
song, the Alvida song.
Always the song still gives me goosebumps.
Yeah. So I have received everything that I wanted from D-Day. I've already received.
Okay. You made films based on various subjects, like a lot of it overlap with the kind of real subjects, as in real things
Yeah.
which happened
Yeah.
in the course
Yeah.
of our
Yeah.
story, and now you're been slowly transitioning you into OTT. So is that a conscious decision, or
Not really,
how?
yeah. Not really. It's
Okay.
not it is a conscious decision primarily because I just felt over the last 2 3 years I was not able to I've not been able to understand कि in the theatrical space audiences को चाहिए क्या, right? What is it
Hmm.
that they want? And I'm afraid that I'll get exposed, that I will not be able to deliver what they want, and as a result of which I don't want to be sitting with flop after flop after flop. what OTT allowed me to do is understand the long form format and be liberated enough to do what I wanted to do.
Right.
People like Dinesh
Right.
Khan and Swagato Mukherjee, Nikhil Madhok, who we are working, Saira Nair, who we work with in Amazon. Our
Yeah.
relationships with Sony and Amazon have been brilliant. We've just
Okay.
started a relationship with Netflix, and we're looking forward to doing so much work with them. So I it's conscious from the part it's conscious from the part that I am fearful of not being able to deliver what or Indian audiences want in the theatrical space.
Yeah.
It's from that. It's
Okay.
my thing. It has got nothing to do with anything else. But having
Okay.
said that, I feel that today I'm more confident that I just have to make a film which I think that I like the kind of films that I want watch when I was younger, like Gulzar Saab and Basuda and Rishikesh
Yeah.
Mukherjee and all. And I think I think that the audiences might just like it. So I don't know.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You are a creative person, sir, and like when you became a producer, like after the formation of the MA Entertainment, do you think that being after stepping into the shoes of a producer, does it curtail your creativity as a writer, a screenwriter, or a director?
No, I've always produced.
ज़्यादा हो जाता है क्या उससे?
Yeah, I've always produced. So even when I was an associate director with Karan in Dharma
हाँ
Productions, I was
हाँ हाँ
very instrumental, or I was given, rather I was given a lot of decision making in the terms of production by Yash Johar.
Oh, I
I
have
would
heard
not,
that story, that Bole Chudiya wala
yeah.
story, 3 crore
I
budget.
would not be able to do a Freedom at Midnight or a Rocket Boys or an Airlift or a Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway or
Okay.
the kind of films that I choose to make if it was not Yash Johar. If it was not Yash Johar who taught me that okay,
Hmm.
you can take a budget and you can take a film that is seemingly very difficult to mount on that budget, but yet how do you play around to make it all work? So that I think that has been a very big driving factor for me.
Yeah.
My relationship, I every time I think about shot, I think about what would Sudhir Mishra do in terms of that shot.
इस
How would
रात की
he,
सुबह.
yeah, how would he stage that shot is something that Sudhir, and
Yeah.
and the drama aspect comes from the fact that I spent so much time with Yash Chopra, right? Everything about his was about love and was about hope and was
Yeah.
about how do I take very ordinary people and put them into very extraordinary situations,
Situation.
you
Yeah.
know, and make them come out from there. So yeah, so I've been very fortunate to have studied under the best,
Yeah.
and worked with the
Absolutely.
best. Yeah.
Just my last question out of curiosity. Your production is called MA Entertainment. It's spelled as EMMAY, but is it something to do with MA, which is the initials of your wife, Monisha? Is it
No, my
something?
sister.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
your sister. MA.
I mean, I think so. I definitely think so. I mean, yeah, I think that they used to run a different company. Monisha and Madhu ran a different company called MAHR, which they actually retired very early retirement, and they had gone away and they were enjoying themselves. And I got them to say that, listen, you to help me run my production. So
Okay.
the one thing I asked was that I wanted to be, I wanted some of their luck to rub off on me.
Okay. So that way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Well, sir, it was lovely talking to you, and there's a lot of good wishes and all the best for this year.
Thank you.
We hope to see you a
Thank you,
lot
everyone.
of times. Okay, thank you so much for your time.
Thanks, man. Thank you so much.